Okay, so let's dive into these TCS Q3 results, right? I mean, it's always a big deal when the IT giants announce their numbers. Did anything really stand out to you?
Absolutely. Well, it seems like TCS has had a pretty decent quarter, actually. Their total contract value, or TCV, is very strong. And, that's a really positive sign for future growth. It's like they're filling up their pipeline with projects for the next several months.
Right. The TCV, I saw that mentioned multiple times. It's kind of like a health check for these IT companies, isn't it? How much new business they're bringing in?
Exactly. I mean, it's like a car's fuel tank. A strong TCV indicates that there's plenty of fuel for sustained growth. And their operating margin also saw a sequential improvement, which is also good news.
Okay, so it's not all roses. I mean, I saw that their operating margin is down a little bit year on year, even with the sequential growth. That's kind of a mixed bag.
Well, yeah, it's like you're climbing a hill, you're taking one step back for every two steps you take forward, but at least you're still moving up overall. It suggests that while costs are still a factor, they are managing well to improve things quarter on quarter.
That's a good analogy. And I think it's important to look at the different sectors, right? Like how did BFSI and CBG actually perform this quarter?
Well, that's actually interesting. I mean, BFSI and CBG, which had been a bit sluggish, are showing signs of growth. BFSI grew by 0.9% year on year in constant currency, and consumer business grew by 1.1%. That's a good step.
Okay, those are positive signs. But I also noticed that communications and media and life sciences and healthcare segments actually degrew. Any idea why that might be?
That's a really good question. It could be because of changing market dynamics or specific project challenges in those segments. So, not all sectors are doing as well, it seems.
Right. So it's kind of a mixed bag again. Some areas are doing great, some are struggling. And what about geographically? I'm curious how TCS is doing in different parts of the world.
Okay, so India is like booming. I mean, it grew 70.2% year on year, which is massive. MEA region also did well at 15% growth. But North America and Europe saw declines, actually, which indicates varied market demands across regions.
Wow, 70.2% growth in India. That's huge, like a rocket taking off. So it seems that their domestic market is really strong right now. I mean, that's a very good thing for TCS.
Yeah, well, it's like having a home base that's, really solid, providing stability while they expand elsewhere. And it's good that MEA is also doing well, showing, their global reach.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about these big deal wins. I saw that they had a TCV of $10.2 billion this quarter, which, is huge. Any notable deals?
Yes, so they've expanded their partnership with Telenor Denmark, got a multi-year deal with Air France-KLM, and even secured a 15-year contract with the Irish Department of Social Protection. That's a lot of long-term, commitment.
Wow, a 15-year contract. That's like a marriage, not just a deal. Those are some seriously big and important clients.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a sign that they're doing good work and companies are like trusting them for a long-term partnership. It's not just about short-term gains.
Right. So, speaking of the long term, how's their workforce looking? I mean, are they still investing in their employees and all that?
Well, their workforce is quite diverse, actually, with 35.3% being women and 152 nationalities. They have over 607,000 employees now, and they are continuing to invest in upskilling and campus hiring. So that's a good thing.
I mean, that's huge. 607,000 people. And their diversity is also good. That gives you a range of perspectives and ideas. It's like a big global team.
Definitely. And, investing in upskilling shows that they're focused on long term growth by ensuring their employees have the skills of the future, like AI and all that.
Absolutely. Now, they also declared a pretty hefty dividend, actually, right? I think I saw a special dividend of like 66 rupees.
Yes, they declared a third interim dividend of 10 rupees and a special dividend of 66 rupees per share. It's like a little bonus for the shareholders, a reward for sticking with the company.
Right. A little something extra to keep investors happy. It seems like, even with some mixed results, TCS is trying to, keep everyone satisfied.
Yeah, it's like a well balanced meal. Not everything is perfect, but they're doing a good job of keeping the stakeholders happy and, the business moving forward.
I think that's a good way to put it. And overall, it seems like despite a few areas of concern, they're pretty optimistic about the future, particularly with their investments in AI and upskilling?
Yeah, the CEO highlighted their investments in upskilling and AI innovations as key for capturing future opportunities. It's like they're laying the groundwork for the next stage of growth.
Okay, so it's like they are trying to get ahead of the curve, it seems. And I mean, it does seem that their, focus on AI and tech is a very forward-thinking move.
Exactly. They're not just resting on their laurels. It's like they're proactively preparing for future trends and challenges, which, is a good sign of a strong company.
So, just to recap, right? The strong TCV is a big positive. India is booming, but North America and Europe are down, and BFSI is showing signs of growth again, right?
Exactly. That's a great summary. So the results are a mixed bag, but there are a lot of positives that, indicate good future growth opportunities, right?
Okay, I think I got it now. It seems like it's important to look at the bigger picture, and that includes how they are dealing with all these different factors, right?
Yep. And also the fact that, it's a constant evolution and they're managing the ups and downs really well. It's like watching a plant grow and blossom.
That's actually a great way to think about it. So, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from all this?
I'd say the biggest takeaway is that despite, some sector specific challenges, the long-term prospects of TCS look really promising thanks to strong deal wins and investments in future tech.
Okay, so they're setting themselves up for growth in the long run. And that, I guess, is the key thing. What are your thoughts about this quarter's results? I mean, what's the one thing that you will be keeping an eye on?
Well, I'll be watching how the discretionary spending revives in different verticals. That'll be a major indicator of how they'll perform in the upcoming quarters, I think.
Okay, that makes sense. I think I'll be keeping an eye on their AI initiatives, actually. I'm really interested to see how they incorporate that more into their services. Well, that's it for this analysis, I think. Thanks for all your insights.
Anytime, it's always fascinating to dive into these results and see what's actually going on behind the numbers.